Everybody. I hope your day is going well. Give me one sec. This is crazy. Again, I'm still trying to work this computer. I just been real busy, but short video. Kind of want to talk politics to y'all, but again, I don't really want to stroke my ego, but it's crazy how things that I was speaking about 2 years ago is really unfolding. And again, a lot of people not gonna really give y'all the truth. A lot of stuff we see in this world that's going on right now really has to do with black people. And it's crazy how, like, again, if you don't read the Bible, yeah, I got the Bible right here. I dabble in this book every day. Again, if you're new to the channel, I believe in the book of the law, which is the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible. Um, Even though they try to change some things around, like the wording and stuff, but if you actually read it, God corrects the mistakes that man has tried to change. And this is why I say that something divine had to write the Old Testament, because there's not no mistakes in the Old Testament. The story stays consistent throughout. Again, this is why they have to add on these man-made books like the Book of Apocrypha, or they have to give you the King James version where the dialect is wonky, or the Book of Tobit. You know, I had this Hebrew Israelite person say to me that Noah was a prophet. This was their words. They told me that Noah was a prophet. But if you read, prophets didn't come until Abraham. Let me repeat that again. Prophets didn't come until Abraham. Noah didn't prophesize anything. And this goes back to what I was saying, how a lot of these man-made books, if you dabble in these man-made books, it will have you confused, like the book of Enoch and all that other crazy shit. This is why God constantly repeats himself, and he said, listen to me. I am the Lord, your God. I am. I am who I am. All right. So we're going to get into this. Now, if you haven't watched my videos, if you're a black person especially, I've been telling y'all about Iran and how Iran isn't a weak military, how the media propaganda tries to make them out to be. And I be trying to have conversations with white people about Iran because I actually studied a military. I studied a military. And even though they're not as advanced as America, the stuff that they have can still do damage. They have the manpower. They have the resources. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video for y'all real quick.
So you say Iran is so weak. I appreciate you saying that. They're not weak. They're very strong right now, and we're not going to allow them to have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You know, I signed a very strong proclamation. Iran was in big trouble when I left.
Before I play the rest of this, I just want to show y'all something, right? Watch Netanyahu, if I'm saying that correct. Watch his facial expression when Trump said that Iran is not weak.
So you say Iran is so weak. I appreciate you saying that. They're not weak. They're very strong right now, and we're not going to allow them to have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You know, I signed a very strong proclamation. Iran was in big trouble when I left. They were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas. They didn't have any money for Hezbollah. You had no problem. October 7th could have never happened. When I left, October 7th could have never happened. And frankly, Russia and Ukraine, as I said, could never have happened. They became very strong very fast. They sold massive amounts of oil to China and everybody else who would not buy the oil when I was president because we said, don't buy the oil. And they became very rich very quickly. But they're not weak. They're not weak. They're strong. Doesn't mean they won't be weak. But you know what? We just don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. They can't have a nuclear
The
weapon.
Prime Minister, sorry, sir, Mr. President, the Prime Minister wants.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
All right, you gotta respect Trump for keeping it real. You know, people live under a rock. You know, you gotta understand something. If Iran was this weak military, how the Western media wants you to believe, they would have been invaded Iran. It's a reason why the Prime Minister of Israel keeps running back to the United States because they know they can't defeat Iran. Y'all not understanding this. And what Iran is trying to do right now, if they don't already, is build up their nuclear arsenal. You see, Iran wants to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. Now, to the slow ones out there, let me explain this to you. In the scriptures, right, God talks about his people returning home back to the land. And when you read all these different stories and stuff like that, he talks about how these different countries invade. He sends nations to invade other nations. And this is how his people always comes back home. If you following what I'm saying. I think it's crazy how the land that God promised to Hebrews, to the people of Judah, the people of Jerusalem, he promised us all this land, and the United States military is at all the lands that God said he would give us. But y'all not questioning. Y'all saying to yourself that the Bible, let me repeat this. Y'all saying to yourself that the Old Testament is not real because Christ isn't real. That's another story, man. I'll get into that later. Now, this was yesterday, right? I want to go ahead and show y'all this.
and told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners.
You bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future.
All right, y'all. You gotta pay attention to the symbolism, man. Like, y'all not finding it weird how in the Bible, God spoke about his people taking Judah. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Judah. Talked about his people taking Gaza. You know, this was in the story of God. This was in the story of Joshua when they first entered the land, right? So Gaza was always supposed to be part of Judah. Now you hear all this talk about Trump taking Gaza. You know, you see all this free Palestine stuff. I made a video about that because God planned when he spoke about the promised land is how he wanted Gaza. God wanted his chosen people to have Gaza. This is all throughout the Old Testament. Now, let me rewind this back for y'all again because I don't think y'all heard him. Pay attention to what he said about America.
From the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
He said, y'all don't feel it now because y'all have a big ocean that's protecting y'all, but you will feel it in the future. God bless. Are y'all following what I'm saying? He said, you don't feel it now, but you will feel it in the future. Now listen to Trump.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right.
Like I said, the writing is all on the wall. I hope y'all enjoy this video. I'm out.